Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Trevor here in my office slash recording studio, and today's video is a request. My number one fans, Shep and Emmy, wanted a piano tutorial. How do you play the piano? That being said, I'm not an expert on the piano by any means. I've only been playing regularly, I'd say, for about a year. We had a piano in my house growing up, and I played it a little bit as a kid. Played the cello for a while. Played the guitar a little bit. But yeah, not a ton of piano until recently. That being said, I've fallen in love with it. I'm really enjoying it. I've got a M Audio Hammer 88 here that I got a few months back. Been enjoying this. Pretty close to the real thing. Not quite as nice as the Kawai grand piano we have downstairs, but this can do some stuff the Kawai can't do. So, pianos. I gotta watch out for this pole right here. Hopefully I don't shake the camera too much. How do you play the piano? Alright, number one, well wait, this isn't a rule. Rule 0, have fun. Play stuff you like. Don't take it too seriously. Playing around is the best way to just figure out what you like, what sounds good to you. So, have fun, number one rule. If you're not having fun, that's not good. So, start there. Alright, now for actual music theory. We're going to try and keep it as simple as possible. Music theory can be really complicated and make your brain hurt. But if you start early, it's probably better. So, number one thing you should learn is scales. Why should you learn scales? Well, look at all these keys. There's 88 of them. That's a lot of keys, and it's a little overwhelming looking at all these. Now, you might notice that there's sections that are repeating. So you see that we have the same notes that are repeating over and over. Now, within these 12 notes, C starts here. We won't worry too much about what every single one of these is called, because it's not that important. But either way, we have C where it starts, and C down here. So, most times in the music you're listening to, they don't use all 12 keys in here. They only use some of those keys. So that's where the scales come in. Scales is how we break up those 12 keys into something a little more manageable. So one of the easiest ones is C major. That's just all the white keys. We start on C, and we go up. C, D, E, F, G. Start over for A, B, and then we're back to C. Playing the same note on the scale, but spread apart, is called an octave. C, C. So, scales. Now, there's a lot of them. I actually don't like using C major. You can make a lot of nice sounds, but my problem with it is all the keys don't sound good together. Either way, we'll come back to that. Number two thing we want to talk about is we've got number one is scales. Pick a scale to work in. Number two is to work on chords. A chord is 3 or more notes played together. And one of the easiest chords to make is called a major triad. And the best way to do that is just play every other note on the keyboard. We'll start at C, E, and G. And then we can move that around, and it sounds good. Creates kind of a more full sound than just playing one note. So a chord is 3 or more notes. Chords, there's so many different ones. There probably are people that have all of them memorized, but this major triad is a really good one. And then you can kind of just experiment with how different shapes sound. Chords. Alright. 3 or more notes played together. I just like to experiment and then see what sounds good together. Number 3 is you got to use both your hands together. That's how you're going to get the best sound. So, playing your hands together. They don't both have to be doing a bunch of crazy stuff all the time. Typically, only one hand is doing a bunch of crazy stuff and the other hand's a little calmer. So, let's use both our hands and use some of that stuff we learned. So we're talking about C major. That's all the white keys down here. If we just wanted to use, say, the black keys, I believe that is E flat minor. I hope I have that right. The beauty of this scale, they almost all sound good together. It's hard to play anything that doesn't sound good, so that's a super secret tip. Just play the black keys and you're going to sound really good no matter what. Alright, so that's our scale. We'll use E flat minor. We're going to do a couple chords with our left hand. We can just kind of experiment with different places, what those sound like. And we'll use our other hand too. So maybe we just do chords over here, and then we walk around, up and down over here. And then we'll move, say, our left hand around. Sounds pretty good, right? Let's see. The beauty of having an electric piano or electric keyboard is that I can play things other than just a grand piano sound. So, I used to play a cello, and the fact that I can play strings on this is so cool. Yeah. Alright, let's recap before I just ramble on for too long on how to play the piano. Rule 0. Have fun. Play the stuff you want to play music you like, watch YouTube videos, play something popular. Alright, rule number 1, just trying to remember what rule I was on. Scales. Pick a scale to work in. Scales simplify the keyboard and make it a lot easier to play. You don't have to worry about playing, say, all 12 notes that are here. Maybe we just only play these 5 notes. And actually, they're some of my favorite notes. You know, this sounds beautiful. Chords. Chords are 3 or more notes played together. Some of the easiest way to play a chord is just to play every other note on your scale. That typically sounds pretty good. But chords come in all different shapes. So you experiment. You don't need to know what they're all called. I think eventually I'm kind of at a point where I just say like, oh, I know this shape's gonna sound. Or how do I make the sound that I want to hear, kind of thing. Rule number 3, we've got to use both hands. I've kind of been doing that. Pick one hand that's maybe not so complicated, and then mess around with the other hand. You could do the opposite. You could make this hand a little more complicated. Either way, you're gonna need to use both your hands to make good sounding music. And that's it. That's all you need to know to play the piano. There's only 5 keys you need to play. You do need to use both your hands, most of your fingers. But the only real trick to playing the piano is that you gotta touch it. You ready? Oh, I'm playing the piano. Don't worry too much about the other stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.